guys, I'm the Aussie Seafarer and I'm going to talk to you today about how I got my start in the maritime industry. I'm a female seafarer, and if you're interested to hear what I have to say about seafaring, subscribe below. I'm a third generation seafarer. My father and my grandfather are both in the industry, but that's not how I got my start. In year 10 in Australia, we have this thing called work experience where you go out while you're at school for 2 weeks or whatever the duration is for your state, and you go to a different place and do work experience. So you could go to a school, a vet clinic, and all sorts of different things that people wanted to potentially pursue a career in. In year 10, I had no idea what I wanted to be. It was coming close to the day that we had to submit our application and all the forms signed off by the place you were going to go to, because you had to, if you're going to a vet clinic, get a certain clinic to sign off and say that you were able to go there. Deadline was approaching and I still hadn't picked anything. My dad at the time was going to Whyalla, which is in South Australia, to do some time on the tugboats there, and it lined up perfectly with the dates that I was going to be doing work experience. So I thought, oh, I'll just come with you. So I signed it off really quickly, got the company and the school to both agree to it, and then off to Whyalla we went. In this 2 weeks, it was such a great experience. I got to do time on the deck as a deckhand, down in the engine room and in the wheelhouse as what the master of the tug would do. It was really good. I got a hands-on experience. I learned how to do the beginning of rope work, learned how to do a bowline and some splicing, and it was just great. It was my introduction to the maritime industry. I came back, I then went and I did my deckhand's ticket, my general purpose hand, which is a domestic ticket in Australia, which allowed me to work on the tugs or on a lines boat or on a ferry. I did that in Manly at the sea school, and while I was finishing off year 11 and 12, I worked casually on the tugs in Sydney Harbour and Port Botany, and I got a job on a catamaran in Sydney Harbour, which I didn't like, but it was another experience, completely different to the tugs. In this this job on the catamaran, you worked as a deckhand and also kind of like a steward. They brought out fruit platters and stuff like that, and you pick up all the empty bottles. I really didn't like that, but that was all part of my journey. After that, I still didn't want to pursue a maritime career at this stage. There was the thoughts in my head of becoming a tug master and going down that line, but at the start of year 12, one of the Sydney pilots was taking a ship from Port Botany over to Canal. He invited me to do an observation run with him, so I agreed, and that was when I realised that I wanted to work on ships. That was my first time being on a bridge on a massive ship, and that was my moment that I knew this is what I wanted to do. Unfortunately, at that stage, I had already dropped sciences in year 10 as an elective because I just didn't enjoy doing science. And the prerequisite to go down to study to do pre-C and become a deck cadet was advanced mathematics, science, either chemistry or physics, and advanced year 10 English. So I had the math and the English. I had dropped science. In year 12, it was this mad rush to get my science done before I finished year 12 so I could go straight into uni and not have to do a bridging course. So online, while doing my year 12 exams through Queensland University, I did a physics course. It took me about, 3 or 4 months, and it was really difficult because, as I said, I had already dropped science, so then I had to learn online this course. I approached the physics teacher at my high school, and they didn't have enough time to offer me support. And luckily my mum worked at another high school in the science department as an aide. Then from that, mum asked if he could, the science teacher at the school that she worked at could tutor me, and he had availability, so I did a few tutoring sessions. I got through the class, it was so difficult. And yeah, that was that. I passed my science and I got the required ATAR to go down to the Australian Maritime College in Launceston. that's how I got my start. Actually, that was the start of COVID, so I relocated down to Launceston, and then we were all like, oh, they're gonna shut the borders. So then everyone did this mad rush to get back to, I'm originally from Sydney, so it was everyone trying to get back before the borders shut so we didn't have to quarantine for 2 weeks. Did most of my pre-C online, learning how to do all the chart work and everything. That was really difficult. That was all via Zoom. That is how I got my start in the maritime industry. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed my journey, but that makes me think, have you ever considered life at sea, or are you already on that path? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks, guys.